This is your coach, Karanda, intuitive and numerologist, back with another installment to the Life Path number series here. So we have Life Path 4 up today. This is for anyone who is a Life Path 4, or if you just want to learn a little bit more about tarot and their numerology correspondence. So, how do you figure out your life path number? Well, you could follow along with the How to Find Your Life Path number video on the channel, or follow these simple steps that I wrote down here. All you need to do is add your birth year. So if you're born in 1766, which is highly unlikely, but if you want to calculate a dead person, go ahead and add 1 plus 7 plus 6 plus 6, and then you should get a single or double digit number. Then you add that to your birth month, followed by your birth day, and once you add all those numbers together, you should get the number 4, 13, 22, 31, 40, 49, 58, 67, or 76 to be a life path 4. Now, there is one particular calculation which would result in a master number 22-4. So for you special number master 22s, you would have a more challenging journey on your life path, as you would likely resonate more with a 4 energy until you step into that masterhood of the 22 vibration. Now, 22 is about building and collaborations and structure on a grander scale. So if you are a 22 master number, then you would have qualities of both 4 and 22. Now, here we have the Emperor, who starts us off with the life path number series for 4. If you did the calculations and got the single number 4, the Emperor is your card. Now, the major arcanas have a lot going on, and the Emperor definitely is a strong figure here. He represents the ability to discern truth and is very wise and handles affairs very systematically. Now, the Emperor card is actually the Magician grown older, as they have mastered themselves fully and is able to sit on this throne. They have a crown of both red and gold, which is a symbol of Mars and the sun, to which Aries is exalted, depicted by these ram heads on the throne the Emperor sits on. They hold the world in their left hand here, and in their right, many people mistake this to be an ankh. However, this tool here is the Greek tool or symbol called a tau, T-A-U, and it is used in geometry, also called a T-square, to measure things and plan and map, areas and locations, the job of the Emperor. And the Tau symbol in Greek is also used to represent life and death, or completing a full circle, because the Emperor is the 4th stage in the Fool's journey. So you go through 1, 2, 3, and 4 is about the progression to gain control and satisfaction with those desires. So that is the Emperor card. If your life path number is 13-4, your card is Death. Now, this card of Death is actually more about rebirth. Really, it's not an ending, it's about transformation. The phrase that goes along with the Death card has to deal with what is it called? It's like the mouth of a fish, or the entry point to life itself. The this might be a little what do you call it? I can't think of the word now. But when a baby is born, it's the mouth of the uterus. It's right when you enter into life, the ending had to occur. So the Death card is one that represents life and death. In many of these images here, a fish is shown due to that being a symbol of Christ. So those who lived in a Christ-like way are usually depicted with that fish symbol. The number 13, which is the Death card, shown by the Roman numerals in the flag here, is very sacred, and every multiple of 13 is sacred. But over time, many people have thought it to be an omen of bad things. But this is all superstitious, of course, where we have, in the biblical stories, we have 12 disciples, and Yeshua is the 13th. We have 12 zodiacs surrounded by the sun in the middle. So 13 is very spiritual in its essence. Other things to note in the Death card is that it is a pure white horse astride a skeleton representing death, while the white horse is about purified desires and being submissive to the rhythm of life and death. We have the sun in the background, which always is a depiction of eternal life, and that life does not end, it only transforms, as well as the people here. You got a man, woman, and child. Death comes for everyone. No one is ever safe. That is the Death card. If your life path is 22-4, you are the master number, represented by the Fool. The Fool card stands alone when it comes to the major and minor arcanas. The minor arcana starts at 23, and the major arcana goes through the numbers 1 through 22. So it seems like 22 is missing, but shown by the Death card, life has no ending, which is why the Fool represents both 0 and 22. Now, the Fool is Latin, or comes from the Latin word follis, or folie. I believe is how you say it in French, folly. And that really means a bag of wind. As many people get called a fool if they stay outside of the norm, or are more intellectual than everyone else around them. And this is why the Fool is seen as the God force. It is willing to take that, leap of faith into the unknown. And it has this limitless potential shown by this space here where the Fool is willing to take that one extra step if necessary. We have this stick here, which is also depicted as a wand. In a sense, we have a little wallet back here, which holds all the Fool's past memories. He is holding a white rose, which again is another symbol of purity. And the dog here shows how all the creatures underneath the Fool, or humanity itself, higher realms of consciousness, are elevated just by being in the presence of divinity. So that is the Fool card. The next card we have here is the Five of Wands for the Life Path 31 4. The Five of Wands shows, well, 5 people not getting along too great. They are all wielding wands, and wands represents passions, desires, angers, and struggles here, which is a number of 5. Right, change and conflicts, and everyone is pretty much fighting for what they want, their own desires. But if they were to cooperate and work together, they would be able to achieve much more. So this scene portrays restlessness and just unlawful struggle. The lesson to be learned here when you look at the Five of Wands is really about regaining balance. That is the Five of Wands. If your life path is 40/4, your card is the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups is, more childlike than all the other pages. They are often seen as shy or quiet. They have lotuses decorated all over their dress, and the lotus is a very interesting plant because it has both masculine and feminine qualities. So the red and blue represents the conscious and subconscious minds coming together, and it assures that whoever wears this is promised that balance of eternal life, along with the fish in the page's cup, another symbol of Christed consciousness, and shows that there's a divine love of everything in humanity, from within the page here. So next we have the Nine of Cups, and the Nine of Cups is for your life path 49 4s. The Nine of Cups shows a seated individual who represents physical and emotional well-being, as all their cups are fulfilled and they're protected by this blue curtain in the background, which represents the creative mind. A balance between the mind and their emotions has been met, which led to their material success. They sit, satisfied and maybe a little smug, but they are truly fulfilled by all their hopes and dreams. Here we have the Four of Swords for Life Path 58-4. And the Four of Swords is not a card of death, but it can be about recovering after an illness or just resting after dealing with a bunch of anxiety and strife. They have Four Swords here, and the Three of Swords itself is about grief and sorrow, but they lay on this sort of truth here. And by, taking the time to rest on that sword, they are able to relax and be peaceful, but they can get up at any time if necessary to use that sword. In the window, we got, it shows like, things going on in the background, but, it's just time to really just take a chill pill with the Four of Swords. But specifically in that window pane, it shows an image of a man kneeling to a woman, if you can see that there. And what this symbolizes is that the conscious mind is still subservient to the subconscious. So it is important to realize that it is needed to rest, because the conscious mind is the active mind, and the subconscious is where things are hidden. For the Life Path 67-4, the Knight of Pentacles is your tarot card, and the Knight of Pentacles often gets called the slowest moving knight in the deck, but that's because they are very meticulous and hardworking with what they do. The Knight of Pentacles is also represented by the winter season, because everything has been harvested and is stored in order to, provide for the journey ahead. This knight in particular rides a workhorse, and the knight is more contemplating this pentacle here. Pentacles represent the material plane and, of course, money. And this knight is really planning his next course of action, because he is not too much of a risk taker, but they are calm and wise with their investments, which lead to power, which is why their choice of weapon is money. They don't have, any other tools to really defend with here other than that pentacle. Now, I'm not sure if you can really see it, but the helmet and all the other things decorating the horse are actually grapevine leaves, which of course are all about being fruitful and abundant. The last number here in the Life Path 4 series is for the Life Path 76-4. Your card is the Eight of Pentacles, and this card is work, skillfulness, craftsmanship. There's this workman here who, has pretty plain clothes and the leather apron, who's constantly carving pinnacles after pinnacles after pinnacles after pinnacles here, which represent money. They got a large stack tucked away over here to show how hard they're working and diligent when it comes to stacking their workload. Now, the image itself could show that, you know, what's that saying? All work and no play make Tommy a dull boy, or something along those lines. But really, the work put behind gathering all this wealth can also bring pleasure and satisfaction. The Eight of Pentacles shows someone who's very honest and pays attention to detail, and again is very skillful in the things that they choose to do. So I will go through these numbers again here for the life path fours. If you did the math and calculated and got the single digit 4, the Emperor is your card. Next, we have the Death card for life path 13-4. Then we have the Fool, represented by the Master number 22/4. We have the Five of Wands, which is life path 31-4. The Page of Cups for life path 44. The Nine of Cups for life path 49-4. The Four of Swords for 58-4. The Knight of Pentacles for 67-4. And the Eight of Pentacles for life path 76-4. So all of these cards may resonate with you if you are a 4, but more specifically for those individual numbers. If you ever need help in making calculations, or if you would like me to look at your full numerology chart, you can always find my information in the description box or go to mindover.number.com to order a chart. So if you enjoy that, thank you for joining me, and hopefully you will learn a little bit more as we continue on with the Life Path number series.